Hey guys, it's Star the Flippin' Hippo. Thank you for joining us on our YouTube channel at Flippin' Hippos. So today I am going to go over the first workshop from eBay Open in Las Vegas, Nevada. The first one I attended was the how to optimize your listings for Google search. Basically what you can do to your eBay listings to make them show up in the Google algorithm and on searches in Google. So we took photos of all of the slides. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you. We'll go slide by slide and I will talk to you about what we learned. Not necessarily everyone's going to agree with all of this. There's been a lot of discussion about it. They're saying if you follow this formula that you'll show up on Google. However, there's a lot of talk at eBay Open amongst resellers about the fact that when you search an item on Google, oftentimes you see a lot of Poshmark listings come up in the results and not so many eBay, and a lot of Poshmark listings do not follow these rules they want you to follow. But anyways, I'll go over each slide with you. So as you can see, this is the search-friendly listing with Google eBay Open 18 presentation. And you can read all the names down here of who our presenters were. And you will have to forgive me as I go through these slides. There's the back of some folks' heads that we were sitting behind during the workshop. And if I have the back of your head in my video, I apologize. Please don't sue me. So first they talked about your product images that you want for your listings, the do's and the don'ts. Now these are the do's. You want to provide the highest resolution images that you can. The minimum you want is 500 by 500 and the recommended is 800 by 800. If you're not familiar with resolutions and these numbers, I suggest just doing a quick Google search and educating yourself on them. It's a good thing to know, not just for eBay listings, but for a lot of things that we do as resellers, our photos, our listings, your covers and your photos for all your social media. It's just a good idea to be familiar with resolution. They want you to use a white or transparent background. Y'all, they've been saying this for a year. eBay came out a year ago and wanted everyone to switch to a white background. This is what Google wants you to have in order for you to be pushed up in their algorithm for their searches. We have been hearing it for a year. It is not a surprise. If you haven't switched over yet, I suggest you switch over as soon as possible. And they want you to show a single unit of the product. So if you're selling 50 TARDIS coffee mugs, you don't want to show a stack on a pallet of all 50 coffee mugs. You want to show one coffee mug in detail. And so this is what you want to do for your images per Google to be seen in their search algorithm. Okay, they're saying that the way people shop has changed. So people are looking for a product-based shopping experience more than ever before. So what does that mean? It means your listing needs to be associated with the product. It's either associated by its brand, its type, its model name. So what this means is you're not just going to list, I have some blue headphones. You're going to put the UPC of them. If you don't have that available, you're going to put that they're Skull Candy, or that they're Apple compatible or Android compatible. People are looking for these specific brand and product-based shopping experiences. Okay, back to some don'ts about your product images. They don't want you to use images with promotional text or logos. So you don't want anything in your photo but the item and the white background. That's it. They don't want any watermarks. They don't want any generic or placeholder images. It has to be the product that you're selling, whether it's a stock image or an actual photo of what you have with the white background. Now we're going to get into some title optimization tips. So if you haven't seen my video on the formula for the perfect eBay title. I will put that down in the description below for you. The formula for the perfect eBay title came out last year at eBay Open, and then this year they are going further with it with Google and their title optimization tips. They want front-loaded product titles. That's basically following the eBay formula. You want the brand first. You want what it is. You want to go from most important to least important, left to right in your title. You want them to be logical and easy to understand. You want strong brand names, the gender, the size, the color, all of these things. And they also said in the workshop that they do not want you to use all caps anymore, and that the Google algorithm will actually push you down in the searches for using all caps. You can use capitalized letters in your title as like proper grammar or punctuation. Every first letter of each new word in your title can have a capital letter. If it's proper, like Ann Taylor Loft, the Loft is always capital L-O-F-T. That's its brand name. But they don't want you just randomly putting all caps in. And I'm sure you guys have seen this on eBay before. You'll see Disney in all caps, Eeyore, Winnie the Pooh, Plush all in caps. Like, people sometimes just put what they figure are important or keywords, all caps. They don't want you to do it anymore. Follow proper punctuation, and of course if the brand name is all caps, you can do that because the Google algorithm will recognize that. If Ann Taylor Loft is known for having a capital L-O-F-T, Google knows that the capital L-O-F-T is that brand. They want you to provide the required product identifiers. Again, this is nothing new. eBay started implementing this about a year ago when they started wanting the UPC code on all of their new products listed on eBay. I'm sorry, you guys, my phone is going nuts. So yeah, about a year ago, eBay started wanting you to put in that UPC code. You guys remember that. It's nothing new. The only thing is that the folks from Google refer to that UPC code as a GTIN, a Global Trade Item Number. It's the same thing as a UPC. If it doesn't have a UPC, it's going to have an MPN, which is the manufacturer part number. And if you don't have either of those, of course, you can always fall back on the brand. Now, of course, you guys, we are talking about new items. If you thrift used clothing from the Goodwill, you are not going to have a G10 or UPC code or an MPN or any of these things. These are for items that are brand new in the box. We're talking about toys, electronics, other products that come brand new in the package with these identifiers. So this isn't, you know, if you sell just used clothing or whatever, this obviously isn't going to apply to you. And you can put that, actually you can skip this part on an eBay listing on all used stuff, and then on new stuff you can put does not apply. You don't have to put it there. It's just going to increase your visibility on Google. Now they're saying to provide the collar for your apparel and your accessories because Google will look for that primary collar followed by secondary. So they want you to use the manufacturer's collar to show up higher in the searches. I personally do not recommend this unless your item is brand new with tags and the tags clearly say weird collar. I always tell people, and what I recommend as far as eBay goes, because of people file an item not as subscribed for color all the time, and from what I understand, color is now an acceptable excuse to eBay for item not as described. It used to not be. You used to be able to fight that and win, and we have. Keith and I have won several times on that in the past, but they're now saying that color is now something the consumer can say is an item not as described. So usually what I recommend is to be as generic as possible and don't be specific. So you have a mustard yellow skirt, I would say just put yellow, not mustard yellow, because what your opinion of mustard yellow and your buyer's opinion of mustard yellow could be completely different, and then you're looking at an ENAD for no reason, right? So I always say be as generic as you can with your colors. Google wants you to be specific. And like I said, the exception to that would be if you have a new with tags blouse from Macy's, let's say, and the tag on the blouse says size small, Empire waist, robin's egg blue, then by all means use robin's egg blue. Use confetti pink, whatever the tag says. Because then you have that to back you up if they file item not as described. It was new with tags. You have photos of the tags showing proof that that's the color the manufacturer said it is, and you can use it in your description. So I would only use the manufacturer's color, like I said, if it's on the tag, if it's new with tags. If it's used, just be as generic as possible and use a couple colors, because as you can see here, Google looks for 2 secondary colors. So if you have a green shirt and it has white and black stripes and you can fit it in your title, put green, black, and white, you know, so Google can pick up on all of those. And then remember that apparel and accessories always includes clothing, shoes, sunglasses, handbags, and jewelry. And they didn't put ties on here, but men's ties are also considered an accessory. And then, of course, this was the part that the eBay folks doing this workshop took over from the Google people at this point and came in with the, oh, here's how you can sell more, sweeten the offer, because these are all things eBay wants us to be doing. They want us to be offering free shipping, guaranteed delivery, return policy that drives confidence, i.e. free returns, and eBay for charity. But yeah, these are just all things that they're suggesting that you can add to your listing, that once you have a strong title and strong photos and a strong listing that shows up in the Google algorithm, in the search leads someone to your listing, you want to give them something to sweeten the offer. You want to create an atmosphere that they want to buy in. You want to encourage them to buy. If they're going to click onto your listing off of Google after a search, you want to give them a reason to buy from you. That kind of makes sense, but these are all choices for your store that you have to decide on for yourself. I have tons of videos on all of these. Everybody has an opinion, but this is what eBay wants you to be doing. Okay, so this is the optimization structure. This is what they recommend. This is like a recommended Google title. Apparel, a strong brand name, your gender, your product type, your attributes, color, size, material. So they're saying Ann Taylor, women's sweater, black, size 6. That's great for Google. That's not the perfect eBay title. And like I said again, I will link down below the video for the perfect formula for the eBay titles. A perfect eBay title would be Ann Taylor, women's sweater, size 6. Then black. Some people might do this. I just go by what we were taught at eBay Open last year. No, we didn't go, but I watched plenty of videos, and size should be after the item, in my opinion. So here's some other ideas, like consumable, brand, product type, attributes. Here's some examples for your hard goods, electronics, and seasonal. So these are just the Google recommended way of, this is the Google formula. Let's put it that way. So there's the eBay recommended formula for titles to show up on Cassini and eBay's algorithm. And then here's Google's recommended formula to show up for them. You can play with it. You can do this recommended one if you're more concerned with showing up on Google. You can do the eBay one if you're more concerned on showing up in Cassini. You can do whatever's comfortable for you, but I would recommend following one or the other, just because when you follow best practices, you're going to get better results. So this was a slide that they had just at the beginning of the workshop that shows you how the Google Shopping Ads information pulls the information from eBay listings for its searches. So when someone searches for an item, this is what shows up. And you can see that Google pulls a ton of information from your eBay listings, your title, your description, your photos. It actually pulls a lot of information. They explained their algorithm to us. It's very convoluted, but basically Google grabs a lot of information from eBay, from your title to your photos, all the way down to what you're typing in your description, and puts that into an algorithm, and that algorithm sorts it and spits it back out when people search for it. Obviously, it prioritizes some listings over others based on the preferences of the algorithm, which I hope I've explained most of it to you as they've explained it to us. And if you're following best practices for eBay, you're most likely following best practices for Google. So if you're doing everything you can to show up in Cassini, you're going to be also showing up in Google. You want great titles. You want those formulas in your titles. You want brand first. You want the item first, gender, size. You want to go left to right, like I said, most important information to least. You want to follow proper capitalization and grammar rules in your titles. You don't want any caps. You want the white backgrounds for your photos. You want good, solid descriptions without any filler or fluff. You just want the information in there. So if you're following all of these best practices, you're going to show up higher in search results for both eBay and Google. And you're basically trying to please Cassini and Google algorithms, but with all the information I've given you here and these slides, hopefully you'll be able to implement this into your listings to help you show up in search engine results higher so that you get more sales. That is your search-friendly listing with Google workshop that we attended last week in Vegas at eBay Open. I showed you all of the slides that they had during their presentation. I talked about each slide. I tried to relay to you all of the information they gave us. I hope I did a good enough job of explaining it to you guys. If I haven't, you can feel free to ask any questions down below and I will do my best to answer it. If I don't have the answer for you, I will find the answer for you. Feel free to pause this video and screenshot the slides if you'd like to have them for yourself for reference. And again, if anything I've gone over or explained wasn't quite clear, feel free to ask me to clarify in the comments down below. I always try to do my best to explain stuff, but I don't always explain it in the best way. And I'm trying to remember things from a week ago. I have some notes that I took from the workshop, and of course the slides to refresh my memory, but it's been a long week. So again, I hope this helps you guys. I hope you can implement this into your listings and help you be seen more, not only on Google, but also in eBay searches, so that you're showing up higher and you're selling more, because at the end of the day, that is what we all as resellers want to do. Do me a favor, if you enjoyed this video or learned anything from it, please smash that like button down below and let me know that you appreciated it or that I was able to help you in some way. If I haven't been able to help you, let me know in the comments and I'll do my best to rectify it. If you haven't already and you would like to, please subscribe to our channel and help us feed a hungry hippo. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. We are at Flippin' Hippos. Until next time, you guys have a good night.